Okay, so first of all, let's find the vocal tracks which are here. So I just want to isolate these. I'm going to solo them. So we can see here if I zoom in, let me just turn one of these lights out so the contrast is absolutely better. So if we look at those waveforms there, we can see that they're extremely dynamic, okay, that the performance was a bit all over the place. So we need to get in there and correct this. So as long as I've got A and Z on in here, I can use R and T to zoom in and out of my edit window. And what I want to do here is effectively increase the gain of this clip just at this section here so that it's more in line with what comes after it. Okay, this isn't always the best way of working, but it can be a very quick fix. But it's important that you do it before you put any processing onto your track, because if you then mix your compressor in and it's really sitting on top of these little waveforms here, and then you turn something else up, then it can actually start to really change how that processor's working. In fact, it becomes quite unpredictable. So I like to do this earlier on, but be subtle with it, okay? So I'm listening to them unprocessed as they go along. So I'll just start off with a male vocal here. Okay, obviously I have to turn it up.
Oh, lassie, go and walk.
Oh, huge lift there, okay? And the compressor's going to sit on top of those louder bits and let the quieter bits jump through. But it means that I like to use my compressor creatively as well and add some characteristics into the actual sound there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase this waveform so it's in line with this. Now you can't do this from Pro Tools 9 and below, okay? It's only from there on. So if you're sitting with Pro Tools 8 or anything like that in the house, then you have to do this the long way. Okay, so I make a cut using Command and E round about the audio that I want to select. Put my grabber tool on, and now I can just use this little fader down here to start to increase it. I'm just using my eyes. I'm not bringing it up quite as loud, so I'm going to just listen to it as it rolls into the louder part.
And the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together.
So because one of them is louder and recorded louder, there's a slightly different quality just to the tone of it. So if I was to really crank this all the way up, then I might run the risk of, even though the next bit's louder, if it was further away from the microphone, it can change how the microphone's coloured the sound, how the room's interacted with the sound as it's propagated around and reflected in there. So I'll be subtle with it because my compressor's going to do the lion's share of the balancing. Cool. Now I'll go another wee bit, this bit in here, and just see how this actually sounds.
All mountain time, all around the blooming heather.
Okay, I'm just going to give this a little lift. Again, I'm using my eyes, but I'm going more in intuition here.
All mountain time, all around the blooming heather. Where we go?
Okay, and I'm going to have to lift this wee bit in here as well. So I like to make a cut, Command E, and then just add a tiny little bit. Again, more intuition. I'm always going back to listen to it, make sure it sounds relatively balanced. If it is meant to sound quieter, I'll let it be quieter. But if there's bits that I need to sit in the mix more consistently, then I'm going to lift them up. Okay, so I'll do that with the next bit as well.
I will build my love a tower near yon pure crystal fountain, and on it I will place all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go?
Okay, let's give this a wee listen.
I will build my love a tower near yon pure crystal fountain, and on it I will place all the flowers of the mountain. will you go, lassie, go?
Okay, so you're not going to win awards for the most interesting part of the mix, but it's going to clean everything up for later on. Okay, so I've got a bit more balance here, which is good. Again, quieter bits must be quieter. The compressor's going to bring in the attitude now. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to do a wee bit of EQ just to bring out some sweet spots. And there are some sort of places to go with vocals, but remember, male vocals and female vocals will all have inherently different sweet spots, and of course, different male vocals and different female vocals will have inherently different sweet spots as well. I'm just going to go for a wee wander through here and see if I find something I like. Out of standard, I always put a a high pass filter on my vocals because there's not much happening musically underneath about 100 Hz with a human voice, if anything from 150, 200 Hz and below. But there is something picked up by the microphone. Any singers? Suppose you are very close to a microphone and you're singing good plosives, good high energy, non-musical information, okay, that can pop right through the microphone, and then when you recreate it and reproduce it through your speakers, you get that happening as well. So I always like to remove everything from about 80 Hz and below on the voice.
Oh, the summer time is coming.
You'll notice no difference to the voice tonally there, but it will just safeguard me as I move forward from any plosives.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather.
Okay.
Will you go?
Just try to bring out a wee bit of that quality in the throat there. I've found about 400 Hz, a wee nice lift there. I've just brought it up. In the context of my mix, this might not work, but it's there anyway. And I brought up a wee lift there at about 5.5 kHz. But that's the same frequency as sibilance, the other problem with the human voice that you get, that can really cut through the mix with a lot more energy and a lot more presence than many other things in your mix. So sometimes boosting that frequency can be a bit problematic, but for the time being, I'll keep it in. Okay, so give it a listen.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming.
As suggested, as I said there, so I'm just going to kill that little spike. So I've just used this just to boost a bit of the kind of mid-frequency range there, just to give the voice a bit more earth. Okay, now I'm going to use a compressor. Again, just use your presets this week. Next week we're looking at setting these up from a default. If you just get into here and you can go to vocal compressor or vocal leveler, I'm going to go for leveler and give it a wee shot. So look at my little parameters in here and play about with them. Feel free to see how they change. Okay, I like a lot of compression on the voice. It gives it energy and attack. So I kind of like to play about with this. I'll give this a wee listen, see how it sounds.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming.
And what we're listening for here is that at no point does the vocals seem to jump up in loudness, okay? Maybe it changes the character a little bit, but with the compressor on it, effectively what we're doing is taking our waveform, our dynamic waveform, setting a threshold with our compressor, and saying that everything above that threshold there is brought down at a certain percentage. If it's underneath the threshold, then no compression happens. So if I was to go for really severe compression, this waveform is then changed so that every time it reaches this threshold, it's then capped. Like that. These peaks then disappear. And now the distance dynamically between the quieter parts and the louder parts is much smaller, significantly smaller. This could lead to distortion though, this really severe compression, so be mindful of that. But here we've got a kind of subtle compression going on, so if I just bypass it and give it a listen.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the tree.
Okay, so listen to that. And that kind of forming, that vocalization. listen to it with the compressor on. It really jumped out the mix there without it. Now hopefully the compressor grabs a hold of it, embeds it in, squishes it in a little bit more so it sounds a bit better. So again, one without compression.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the trees are...
Okay, so that's like being in a room with somebody singing, no compression happening, just a nice analogous performance. Now with the compressor, there should be a bit more control.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming.
Hearing it? Yeah. It's very subtle, okay, but it's definitely there. In fact, when it goes in, and you get this bit of the compression kicks in and actually brings it right down. It's very subtle, but I'll do one without again and then one with. Just listen out, really use your ears to objectify what you're hearing.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the trees are sweet.
Okay, it jumps out a little bit, then with the compression.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming.
So it gives that still nice natural performance. It's allowing it just to get slightly more impact, but without the volume going up. Okay. Now the compressor's also adding a wee bit of volume there. Always bypass your compressor to make sure you're not making it louder. You just want more control over your dynamics.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the trees are sweet.
Okay, so I've got a really nice balanced vocal now. Now what I want to do is send it to a reverb bus so that I've got my dry audio here and I've got some reverb happening over here as well. So what I need to do is find this reverb bus that I set up earlier on, and that's in the video from earlier, and I changed the input to this bus input and then I renamed it reverb send. Now what I want to do is send the signal not from the output. I want to send the signal, a little portion of the signal, to my reverb bus. So if I go to my sends, make sure you don't click inserts here, sends, it now gives me options about where I want to route that signal, where I want to send it. So I can either send it out to an external thing like my speakers, or I could send it to a bus within Pro Tools, and I'm looking of course for the reverb bus, reverb send. And it now shows me I've got 5 little sends in here with a little floating box. Now if I hit play, nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to appear in this little bus here until I start to send a portion of this signal across to it. So let me hit play, just take the volume down a little bit.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the trees.
So there's the signal appearing down here in reverb send. If I take this send all the way down, this is a portion of the signal that I'm sending to this reverb bus. So if it's all the way down to infinity, then nothing's getting sent. If I then turn it up, you'll start to see a signal appear in here.
Oh, the summer time is coming.
What's that? Absolutely, yes. I do. Thank you, just bear with me a little bit. But yeah, the eagle-eyed and eagle-eared would have noticed there was no reverb coming there. However, what I'm showing you is that there's a signal getting sent. Okay, now that the signal's getting sent, my next question is going to be, why can't I hear it? So why can't I hear it? It's not solo, thank you. Guys, okay, so now I need to solo it in order to hear it. Do I just need to solo it, since we're being pernickety? Solo safe it, and will that just start playing? No. Yeah, good. I'm being cheeky, but yes, absolutely. We need to turn up the reverb bus as well. Okay, up it goes. So I need to solo it in order to hear both of these together. Otherwise, I can see there's a signal, but there's no sound. And I solo it. Reverb. How much reverb is dependent on how much of that signal I'm sending here. Now you can use pre-fader, we'll talk about this next week. The pre-fader then takes this fader right out of the equation and only sends however much you've put up here. It also means you could mute it down here, mute the fader, but it's still going to send a portion of the signal to your bus. Anyway, I go back and forth in pre-fader. Sometimes I use it in vocals, generally not so much anymore. So just turn that up and then you'll start hearing it coming through.
Summer time is coming, and the trees
maybe a bit too much, so I'll just bring it down.
blooming. and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather.
So nice. I don't like my vocals too wet. I like them, the emphasis just to be there, creating a nice warm, rich texture in the background. Okay, as the guys have pointed out there, solo safe mode means that you don't always have to hit solo every time you want to solo your vocals, okay? So if that's not on, I would have to go solo,
The summer,
With that on, all I have to do is solo.
the summer time.
Okay, I'm going to then also send one to my delay send as well. The delay send in here, now brings up this little box, bring it all the way up, solo safe mode, command and solo, and then bring my delay up. This will be a bit mental, but we'll give it a go.
The summer time is coming.
Oh, that's the wrong delay bus. This is why we rename things, so we can follow them through. Delay send, thanking you. Okay.
The summer time is coming.
And that mix is finished. That's how you get fired. It's how nobody wants to work with you. Right, so multi-delay, obviously I've got loads going on in here. You can play about the settings in here. But basically that's the timing of your delays. So you can set what kind of timing you want for them. So at 8th is half a bar, and I'll keep the 16th on as well.
The summer time is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming.
Okay, delay's a bit severe for this track, but we will be using it more as we move forward. Okay, so now we've created our two sends. The last thing I want to do is a little bit of housekeeping just to make this easier to work. If I go into view and go to expanded sends and click send A, it now gives me a little inline fader that I can use to send the level to, and of course pan to that bus as well. So if I just want to go into the left hand channel of the stereo bus, I just pan it to the left. Easy as that. Now this gives me an inline control, saves me from clicking on the little bus to get this dialog box open to close it down. Okay, really nice touch in the new versions of Pro Tools. So now I've got a really nice balanced.
The summer time is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild.
Okay, and then obviously you balance everything. Once you do your vocals, you then go back to your start your mix and change everything. Alright, it's great, great fun. Any questions on that? Cool, okay, I kind of make that about lunchtime, folks, alright, so once you come in next week, let me just stop this video, we will